Well guys, it's really sunny out here, and oh yeah, welcome back to the Big Red Barn. Today it's really sunny out. I can't really see the thing on my camera, so I don't know how well centered I am, but this isn't going to take long. Right now, if you're wondering what your view is, this is the back of Bay 2. Bay 2 is a pass-through bay, so you can drive right through from the front to the back. It's really sweet. The old guy's not with me. He's off doing some work for his company today. And I am taking the day off from the wood shop, and I am working on some projects here around the farm, the homestead. And this is the rack that he and I just finished building. I'll link the video for building this down below. We got kind of long-winded. I haven't even edited that video because we just finished it this morning. This is the rack that we built for drying the pressed wood bricks that we're going to make for fire, for heating, for cooking. We have so much extra sawdust and all that kind of stuff that we want to do something with it. We can't compost it all. So we're going to make some of those little pressed bricks that you buy for campfires. I'm going out and doing my adventuring and traveling and doing some of that stuff, and those bricks will be safe to travel with and should not have an issue with leaving your county. Where I live, you can't leave the county with wood. You have to buy it at the campground or in the county of the campground you're staying at. These bricks will not have that same restriction because they're just pressed sawdust and paper. So, and we want something that we can burn in the fire pit in the back when we want to cook. So this is the rack that we built. This is old dog cage that we took apart because my dog doesn't really need to be kenneled anymore. She's a good little girl. And we took all the clips off. We made this so that we can put these in here and stack our bricks. We've already got some made. We threw some over a little heater to experiment a little bit with the recipe for doing it. Our first batch came out perfect. We haven't had a chance to burn them yet, but we're very satisfied with the first batch from what we've seen other people make. So I'm going to show you how we make ours. I don't know how it's going to do with the wind out here and the sun, but we're going to give it a shot and see how the video comes out. And we are inundated with ladybugs today. Apparently, this ladybug likes coffee. So, leave the ladybug here. This is one of our first bricks. A nice, probably 1.25 inches, 1 3/4. Came out really well. But I'm bringing this rack over so we can get some work done here and make some more. And I'm going to go adjust things. That's the bay we just walked out of right there. That's the back of 2. So I'm going to set this on the ground over here. I grabbed an old drill. This drill's been around for as long as I have. I remember this drill when I was growing up. So we use drills like this for dumb stuff that might damage the drill. And this is a mud mixer for mudding walls, I think. Either drywall or concrete mixer. Now I've seen some people who sharpen the blades on this. I haven't found it necessary. After the paper soaks in my water for a day, I'm pretty much good to go to mix with this. Now the first batch we did was just sawdust and newspaper. This batch is sawdust, newspaper, some cardboard, and Dad threw in a couple of handfuls of dried leaves, and they weren't dry enough, I don't think. But we're gonna just see how it does. And I got a mustache here that's tickling my nose. So I'm not moving my fancy camera close enough, but I'll stick my ridiculously more expensive cell phone in here. It's in a waterproof case, and show you what it looks like to mix this up. So you can see it's still got quite a bit of water in there. So that's kind of what it looks like. So we're at a consistency of overly wet oatmeal. Now, our tools for the day, besides that red thing, is a broken dustpan. We have our brick. We have 3 pans here. Now I took some pictures of these pans and I'm going to throw them up in the corners. This is the base one, is the one that has all the sides on it. Our next pan is the U-shaped one, and that's going to be for lifting the bricks out when we get them made. Now, I'm going to fill this up with sludge. I'm just going to scoop it in here. You'll see. The first time we did this, I'm putting that much in, pretty much the top. You can see there's already water running out of this. Quite a bit of water. We've got plenty in this batch. I do have my 5-gallon bucket. I think Dad moved it on me, that I can dump this into and let it start draining. And I might go grab that here in a second. You know what? I am going to go grab that. Why don't you guys wait here? Watch that for me. We picked up some buckets on the side of the road during spring cleanup a year or two ago, and I think people are making potatoes in them because they're painted green, and they were stacked together, and it looks like the kind you would try and do the potatoes in and grow them. That's what it looks like to me, at least, or some sort of bucket gardening. There, peel the rest of the tape off. There's 4 holes in the bottom. I'm just going to dump my bucket into there and let this start draining out some. I'm going to grab a couple bricks here, or a cinder block, and set my bucket up on it so it'll drain. So now we got our block, our pan, we got a brick in here, and I'm just going to take a scissor jack that we picked up from the junkyard. And I don't know if you're aware of this, but scissor jacks, there's 2 different kinds of ends on them. One has a kind of flat end, and the other one has a hex head on it. That hex head, we found out, is a 3/4 on most of them, so we just set up a socket. Now, we did try this with a drill, and we found that that was too much power. I know you're thinking, there's no such thing as too much power, but there can be. It was just flipping the thing around. It's only a couple of turns for as small as our press is, and it was just whipping the jack around when we tried to take it off. It was spinning too fast. So we're going to press it out some. Now, the first time we did this, we found when we did this part, the bricks were really, really thin. And we decided we wanted something thicker, something that would burn a little bit longer. So what we started doing was doing a first press, not pressing it down all the way. And now, I'm going to pull this out. And you can see we're a little less than half full. So I'm going to add some more with my scooper. And just a little bit more. Don't want to overflow it because it's just going to make an even bigger mess. And I do not recommend this being an inside project or a inside the garage project. The goop that comes out of this is nasty. That's why we're doing it out here in the back. If you're wondering, yes, those are grapes behind me. We live in grape country. We are living in the home of Welch's. Get my jack turned back the right way here. Now this time we're going to just jack it up slow. I don't know if you guys can see how much water is just pouring out of this, which is not a problem because we're just going to press it all out. Now I have thought about the fact that I want to spray paint the bottom of this because the water is just going to warp the wood on this over time. And this is all scrap wood. This is a complete scrap wood project. This is 2x3s that we found on the top of the barn, held together with 4-inch screws, a little hunk of scrap of cherry on the bottom there, because Dad always has to use my expensive woods for whatever project, so I try to throw it in there just to poke at them. You can see I'm not pushing hard here. I got one finger. And that's about all we need. I'm not getting any more water out here. When I push, there's no more water really squeezing out, so I think we're done. Let it sit for a couple seconds while I babble.
Which you don't really have to do. And
we're good to take it out. So if you guys want to see the recipe in the very start of this process, we can do that. If you want better pictures of the press, we can do that too. Honestly, the press was just a throw together and we didn't think it was going to work. We were pretty sure the jack was going to be so strong it was going to crack and break the frame. So we didn't actually make the frame on camera because we were pretty sure it was going to take 3 or 4 versions, and it turned out pretty well. All right, I'm going to move you guys to see how you bang the stuff out of here. So you actually get to move for a change. We've got our brick made. It's all squeezed out. You can see there's no water coming out now. And we just pop it right out of there. So this is the center of the U-shaped piece. This is the solid one with the holes in it. Flip it over and slap it down. And that's it. You got a brick. I do not recommend flipping these around or moving them much more than you have to, because they just fall apart. All right, let's go make 5-gallon bucket worth. Should make me about 6 or 8 bricks of this size. Want to kind of get your press or your jack squared up there. Now Dad and I did discuss what we would do differently on this press, and we wish we had cut some slits in the board, some grooves to let the water help drain out from the bottom better. And I may unscrew that bottom board and do that before I paint it. And just gonna take the table saw up 1/8 of an inch and run it across there. Nothing fancy. Could even just take the Sawzall and make some grooves in it. Anything to help let that water drain from the bottom better. Although I think it does pretty well as it is, but over time that bottom board is going to warp, and I have a feeling I'm going to want to have better drainage. So I can see a lot of bubbles coming up from underneath the bottom of it. Now, probably not this year, but maybe in the spring, I will be testing out how each of these recipes works out for burn time, for heat, for that kind of stuff. But like I said, we are just experimenting and getting started on this, and a way to use some of the stuff that is just going to waste here. Because we do compost all the wood scraps from the shop, and we composted and we recycle the paper. Kind of doubt how much when you send stuff off to the recycling center it actually gets recycled. So if there's anyone else out there who's making these, tell me what throw in the comments section. What's your recipe? I do the paper and water. I don't add bleach or vinegar to mine, because I saw some people said they did that to help the paper break down better, but I haven't seen a need for that yet. The paper and cardboard broke down really well here. I also used rain barrel water and not tap water
for this,
because right now we have plenty of rain barrel water. In the summer that might be a different issue, but right now in the fall we have plenty of rain barrel water. So we used paper, cardboard, ripped it up, soaked it. The first day when you use that mixer thing, it's horrible. I think in the future I'm going to put the paper in on the first day, just kind of pat it down, get it all soaked and covered, and not mix it until the second day. On the second day when you mix it, it comes right off the beater, the mixer thing. The first day it just clumps to the mixer and made a huge mess. You end up having to peel it off in big chunks. And we used some of the super fine sawdust off the CNC machine. And we used some of the larger shavings off of the planer.
So
I was concerned that without having some of the longer shavings in there to help bind it together, we just got pressed wood. And I thought the longer shavings from the planer might help add some strength to the blocks. Kind of like rebar in concrete. And we don't heat our house with wood because the old guy doesn't want to.
but as soon as the
House is in my control. I'll definitely be putting a wood fireplace back in. I love a wood fireplace. I love the smell of wood burning.
but they're also passing laws now about wood-burning fireplaces in homes. So I don't know if in the future I'll be able to put one in. I'll probably be past the point where I can do that, and only be houses that were grandfathered into that law. But
That would be my dream. My ideal would be to have a wood-burning fireplace for the house for winter. Because it does get really cold here in Western New York. And I would like to have a backup heat source. Here, let me show you the view that I have behind you while I'm working. You guys are stuck looking at the back of a barn. I'm seeing this. Grape vineyards. That's Lake Erie out there. Out there. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. And it is beautiful. Beautiful sunny day. This is what we work for, guys. It's living out here on days like this. And being able to walk out. Ah, they've picked here. I was going to be all bougie and grab some grapes off the vine. These are Concord grapes from Concord. All right, let's get back to working here. Enough playing around. I do appreciate you guys helping me out with chores today, though. And it really would be nice if you guys would like, subscribe, do all that stuff.
yeah,
The old guy is dying for you guys to ask him some questions, seriously. He grew up on a grape farm.
so
You guys ever have questions about farming grapes? He has a degree in pomology. God, it's just like a dating website now. The old guy has a degree in pomology. He's married. His wife is still here. It's not a dating thing. Sorry, Mom. Degree in pomology, which is the study of small fruits and vegetables. Do you want to ask him questions? If you want to ask the, what we affectionately call the graphic designer, that's Mom. She has a degree in English. It's not quite as exciting to ask questions about, at least to two dyslexic men. Which is kind of funny to me that the English person has two dyslexics living with her.
she can't
Oh, I didn't take it apart. Texting with two dyslexic people, I can't imagine how much fun that is for an English major. But she does graphic design stuff. If you have questions about graphic design, that's her thing. She loves the Glowforge.
So feel free to ask questions. We can bug the old folks to answer questions for you guys to get in. I'm not sure what page it's going to be on, but we just bought a electric pruner for him. Because, not that he's getting old or anything, but he's getting old. So I bought him an electric pruner so he can prune without falling off a tree with a pair of loppers in his hand. And God forbid I give him a chainsaw and a stick, I'm pretty sure he's going to cut his arm off. Or mine, more likely mine. I swear, I get injured way more when we work together than he ever does. I was so glad to see the tractor go. I can't tell you how many times he hit me with a tractor. Or drop something. It would bounce and hit me. Yes, I know it's my job being on the ground to get out of the way. But really, it felt like he did it on purpose some days.
So hopefully you guys have been down there ticky-tackying away, telling me what your recipes are for this.
Looks like we're almost done here.
Tough Mama Unplugged watches this. You need to vouch for the fact that I hate slimy stuff, and I got it on my hands. I'm being brave. I do woodworking. I have to do with sawdust, not slimy stuff. Not a bad project, guys. Go give this one a try. Let me know what your guys' recipe is. What are your results when you've tried it? Have you done it? Are you doing it? Let me know. And as soon as we start getting some of these dry enough to test them out, I'll let you know what my results are with the recipe that I've been using. If you want to see more of the process, you want some better pictures, or me to do a video out of the wind and not babbling, let me know. Remember to like, subscribe, tell the old guy you missed him in this video. Have a good one. I'm gonna go find the coffee.